probably the worst thing about this rake is its 2-point hitch, and you got to hook it to the lift arms. You don't have to hook the top link. That's why it's a 2-point hitch. But I tell you what, it really ain't that big a deal to hook it up because it's only 2-point hitch, and it's actually pretty simple. So what I'm trying to say is there's really not anything bad about this rake. This thing does an excellent job raking. You know, it folds up small. It's not hard to get in and out of gates. It rakes 21 foot at a time. You know, it gets the job done neat, clean. It don't leave much hay in the field. But you know, so this is the worst part about the rake, and I can't say that it's really that bad. So, you know, it's not that bad. Okay, so there is another thing that is bad about this rake, and you can see it right there on top of the rake. It's a pile of hay right on top of the center of the rake, and that is where the locks are for the rake. And if you'll notice this, when I'm raking, there's like this wind tunnel where the hay goes straight up in the air, and hay just collects right there. But those locks, the problem is with the hay getting there is the locks are operated by ropes, and it'll get so much hay up there that you can't operate the locks with the ropes. You can't pull the ropes hard enough to overcome all the hay around the locks. So see the hay flying up there? It causes enough wind to do that. You might could slow the RPMs of the tractor down some, but I like to get on with it when I'm raking. I ain't got time to piddle and idle around. I got to go on with it. But anyway, you can see right there how it's collecting some more right now. But anyway, you just got to get out and clean it off about every time you get ready to fold this rake up, which that is a little bit aggravating. But other than that, there's not really anything that's bad about this rake. It does have rear wheel steer. You can see right there. That's the reason it's a 2-point hitch rake. See how there's a tie rod that runs the length of the rake, and it actually steers the rear wheels. When I turn to the right, they turn to the left, and that makes it follow the tracks of where the tractor went. Basically, it don't quite follow where the tractor went, but it's really close. You'll see when I turn around here, you can see the wheels steering, and it's cool as heck because it follows the tractor so good, even for a long piece of equipment. I really like that. And I don't know if I've ever told you all this, but this rake, it rakes 21 foot, and that's collapsed. It'll extend 3 more feet. I mean, it extends another 1.5 feet on each side. It'll actually rake 24 feet if you extend it, and it extends hydraulically. So I can extend it from in the cab. Actually have it extended a little bit. If you look out there, there's a cylinder on each side near the head. You can see the gray cylinder, and you can see the shiny rod part. That's what extends each side out, and you can rake a wider swath, but it also makes a wider windrow. So if you're round baling, which I was round baling this field. So I make a wider windrow and a wider swath, so I get more hay in a swath. Now when I'm square baling, I need a small, tight windrow because the pickup head is smaller on the square baler, it's narrower. So I need a small or a narrow windrow. And I don't want as much hay in the windrow either because the square baler can't take as much hay at one time. Even though it is a high capacity baler, it still can't take as much as a round baler can. So it works out good. You collapse the rake all the way and it will rake a smaller swath and with less hay in it, and it will make a narrower, taller windrow, which is good for square baling, and it's also really good for drying hay better. Because these rakes just stack the hay up and really do a good job about drying hay down more even after it's raked. It does slow down drying some still yet from being laid out flat on the ground after tedding it, but it still dries a lot better than a roped up mess that a roller bar or which I always liked the roller bar rakes, but I had one of them wheel rakes, ground driven wheel rake, and I hated that thing. But it wasn't a very good one. I'll give it, I'll say that it didn't cost me like $3,000. It wasn't that great of a one. It was a Walters or a Tonetti, something like that. But anyway, that's about all I can say about the rake for now. We're going to move on to some round baling here in just a minute. I'll tell y'all what, I really like this Massey tractor. The more I run it, the more hours I put on it. It's just, I don't know why, but it just fits me good and it feels good. Just everything about it. I like it. The more I run it, the more I like it and like it and like it. It's just, I don't know. I may end up with all red tractors before it's over with, but it's going to cost me a lot of money if I do, I guess. But I really would like to have a 5700 to go along with it. And maybe someday that can happen. But right now, I'm just going to stick with the T5. The T5 is a good tractor. There isn't anything wrong with it. It's just, I just like the Massey maybe a little better than the T5 in its own respect. The T5 is a nicer tractor. It rides a little better. It's got a power shift transmission, and it's got a lot of features that this tractor don't have. But that may be one reason I like this tractor so good. It's just simple standard transmission, and there's just not a whole lot about it to go wrong, and everything works good on it. Nothing's jerky or nothing's weird about it, and the loader is super fast. I love running the loader, loading hay with it. It's got the self-leveling loader. I don't really care for the self-leveling loader doing round bales that much, but I love it doing the square bales because I don't have to correct the level as I raise the square bale grabber up, and I can just pull the lever straight back and I don't have to tilt, and it speeds the raise up because I'm not using some of that flow to tilt it and slowing the loader down. I just pull it straight back, the loader shoots straight up in the air in no time, and then I'm sticking them bales on that wagon and back up, let it back down, and I ain't trying to curl the bale grapple back as I let it back down, and that way you can let it down as fast as you want to. It does have the soft ride on the loader. That makes the whole tractor ride better. Even though it doesn't quite ride as good as the T5 because it don't have a suspended cab, it still rides really good for what it is for a smaller, lighter tractor. So yeah, I put a lot of hours on this tractor when this last time I done hay about 35 hours or something on it, and in about 2-3 days, and that wasn't counting the hours I put on the T5 and all the hours I've spent greasing and working on, getting stuff ready and moving hay and logistical stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's the only Massey I've ever been around, but I really like it. I sure do. We're going to get out of red here and we're going to get into blue. Well, blue and red. I just got done doing a bunch of raking, so I'm getting ready to get in the baler, do a bunch of baling. I don't have everything down, or don't have everything raked that I have down, because some of it's going to be square bale tomorrow, and what I do have down has only been down for basically 2 days. It's actually been down 3 days, but the first day don't count because it was extremely cloudy and foggy, and it just didn't dry at all the first day, so it's basically only been down 2 days. That's why I'm wanting to be using the crop saver. I guarantee you the moisture will be high enough I'll have to use that. So I get all my gadgets fired up, moisture monitor and bale monitor, and I need to get a moisture probe. I'm gonna run down here and get a bale moisture probe. I want to compare it to the monitor in the tractor here. Sometimes the one in the tractor, I don't trust it too good. On round bales, I trust it pretty good on square bales, but round bales, I don't trust it too good. So I want to actually see what it is with the probe. I'm going to go down here. I got a probe in the T5 down here. T5 sitting down here on standby. He's waiting for tomorrow. He's going to be going to the square baler. So he's just sitting down here waiting. I was going to go ahead and hook the T5 up to the square baler this morning while I had a few minutes, and I hooked this up this morning and greased it and oiled it. And I thought, well, I'll hook the T5 up, and then I thought, no, if I hook the T5 up, then I'll need to hook it to the tedder, and then I'll have to just unhook it, or the Massey Ferguson will have to be unhooked from the rake. I'll need the rake before the baler, so I decided to go ahead and hook the Massey up to the rake like I always do, and leave the T5 unhooked. That way, if I need the tedder in the morning, which I know I will, because I'll go back over and ted everything I want to bale tomorrow, and can hook the T5 to the tedder. Then I can hook it to the baler when I get done tedding. I got a field right up here on the left, right there, that's down. I'm going to square bale it, so I don't have it raked. Everything I got raked is on out the road here a good ways. So it's going to take me a few minutes to get there. Hammer down, 25 miles an hour. Okay, here we are at the field, getting ready to turn the baler on. About 2 minutes to make that bale. We'll get out and probe this bale, see what the moisture is on it, see if I'm running close to what my moisture marker says. Well, it's a good looking bale. I got my monitor here. Ain't got enough hands for all this. I'm gonna set y'all over here. Get this monitor out. Probe. Moisture 15.5, 15, 16, 17, 16, 17, 17, 1. Between 15 and 17 is what I'm reading. So about an average of 16. It's actually really good shape. So I guess we will keep baling without the product. Drier than I figured it would be. Good breeze and 100%. I got out and wiped the window off on the back glass there so you can see. I just wiped a little spot right in front of the camera, and it looked so pretty and clean. I was like, dang, why am I doing that? I want to be able to see good too. So I wiped the big spot off where I could look out the clean window too. It won't last long, but it makes me feel better for a minute or two. This is a dusty job and windows tend to get pretty dirty. I'm just glad I'm inside and not outside, and I know a lot of people don't have that luxury, but if you ever had a cab and done this, you don't want to go back to no cab. If you don't have a cab, if you could ever get one, I know they're expensive, but if you could ever get you a cab, I don't think you would regret it. And I mean, with air conditioning and heat and all that good stuff, because you don't want to be sitting in a hot cab, 90 degrees outside, and sitting in a cab sweating. I'd rather be in the dust than that. You need air conditioning if you got a cab in the summertime. It's what makes it worthwhile. Get this done. I'm gonna go to the Carroll County Fair tonight with my little boy. As a matter of fact, my wife's gonna go ahead and take him up there because I'm gonna be a little bit later getting this done, and then I'm gonna go up there and meet him. But should be fun to take him on some rides. I just come back from West Virginia State Fair. Camped up there 2 weekends, and we took him on his first rides up there, and that was a lot of fun to get to watch his face and everything, seeing the rides and getting to ride on the rides. The biggest problem was is he's only 32 inches tall, and 90% of the rides up there you had to be at least 36 inches. So there was very, very few rides that he could ride, but the ones that he could ride, he rode them, and he rode them over and over and over, and he had a lot of fun. You know, he would point at the ones he couldn't ride like he wanted to ride them. You know, it was kind of sad because he couldn't ride them, but he had a lot of fun on the ones he did ride. And sometimes he'd get a little upset when it was time to get off of them. But he's only 2, so it's hard to get him to understand that, you know, once the ride is over, you can't just can't keep riding as much as you want. You know, at home we ride ATVs, and he's got a little electric Jeep that he rides, and he can ride as much as he wants, however long he wants, as long as it ain't bedtime or time to go in and eat. We let him just play and play and play. You know, it's a little bit different at the fair. You gotta play by their rules. Everything's so daggone expensive up there.
whatever. But see, the parent has to ride with a child that small on most everything. So I would have had to bought 2 armbands. So that'd been $60, and I didn't even know if he would like riding stuff. So I didn't want to get too carried away with buying a bunch of wristbands if he didn't want to ride but wanted to ride, or got scared and didn't want to ride anymore. So I didn't know, and I ended up just buying a sheet of tickets. I think it had like 20 tickets on it. Whatever, it was 20, it had 22 tickets on it, and it cost $21 or something like that. And about every ride you go to, you had to use 3 tickets on it. So it didn't take long when you're riding 2, because me or Mama 1 had to go with him. So every ride was 6 tickets. There was a few ride operators that only made you pay the 3 tickets for the kids, but most of them made you give them 6 tickets. 6 tickets didn't last very long. Well, there's $21 gone in no time. And fortunately, my aunt had bought some tickets for him too, so she let him use those tickets. So he got to ride quite a bit. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. All right, I'm back. It's been a while. We're in a completely different field, and we've done 14 bales. The last field I was in was like 6-acre field or so, and I got 12 bales. So I'm getting about 2 bales to the acre, which is not too bad for unfertilized second cut. So I'm happy with it. That same field, I got 4 bales to the acre on first cut. So half is about right. Especially without adding any fertilizer. Got to turn sideways here so this bale don't roll down the hill. There's steep hills everywhere. I was going to do some camera angles, put the camera around in different places. Y'all do know I only have 1 camera. So anytime I have different camera angles, I have to get out and I set my camera in different places and everywhere that you see different angles, I set the camera there, film there for a while, and then I'll move it to a different place, and I'll film there for a while, then I'll put it in here with me for a while, and I'll talk for a while. There's a whole lot. It takes a lot of time. So what I'm getting at here is I don't have a lot of time because, like I told you a little bit ago, I'm supposed to go with my boy to the fair tonight, and they've already left, and I've probably got another hour of baling to do. So I gotta keep this baler hopping. We're gonna go over here and bale in the church parking lot for a minute. Actually, I'm just turning around. Now we'll go back in the field. It gets kind of tight over here in the corner. There we go. Wasn't any hay over on that asphalt for some reason. Oh well. Alright, well, I'm going to keep baling. We'll see how many bales we get in this field. It's just about an 8 or 9 acre field. So hopefully I'll get 18. Cross my fingers. I don't know if this field's quite as thick as the last one. It don't look quite as thick. Windrows don't look quite as big, but they can be deceiving sometimes. Alright, well, I'm going to let y'all go for now. We'll talk to you later.